Hi everyone, how are you? I'm Kayla. This will be my second floss tube. I still feel very awkward, but I'm trying. Yeah, so my first video I put up 2 weeks ago, and I just want to say thank you so much to everybody who watched it and who liked, but really the comments, everyone was so kind and welcoming, and it was really nice and made me feel a lot less, awkward and weird. So thank you guys so much for all of your kindness, and yeah, I just want to say that. So if anyone is returning from my last video or watched my last video and is coming back, thanks for coming back. And to anyone new, welcome. As I said, this is a floss tube, so this video is going to be pretty much all about cross stitch today. I don't have any knitting really to show, although in the future, if I have other stuff that I make, because I do crochet and knit, and so occasionally, I'll share that, but today is pretty much all cross stitch. So where to begin? I guess I'll show you. I have 2 FFOs today, both of which you actually saw last week, but I finished them, fully finished them. The first one, I showed you guys the trim last week and I had to sew it on. So I took a little bit of time over not last week, last video, I should say, that was 2 weeks ago. I took a little bit of time and sewed it on by hand. This trim I purchased from Hobby Lobby. It was 50% off of $3.99. I think it's called Golden Brown. It's just a braided chenille trim. And I really like how it turned out. The pillow's still a little wonky, but no one can tell except for, you guys, because I'm telling you. But I think I realized why it's so wonky, by the way. I had never sewn with velveteen before. And I do, as I said last video, I do kind of tend to rush, and I did actually pin it, but the velveteen is quite slippy, at least to me. So that's probably why it's a little bit extra wonky, and I should have stuffed it more, but what can you do? Anyway, so that is one fully finished object now. FFO, right? Because it was already in a pillow. I just needed to add the trim. And again, this is Sweeping the Garden by Barbara Anna Designs. This is on 32 count light mocha. I did 2/2 using the called for DMC. I'm gonna try to be good about remembering to tell you guys all that. Now this next one is also, you guys did see this finish last week, and this fully finishing job is not perfect because I kind of stuck it in there to see if I would like it. And then I was like, yeah, good enough, I'll leave it. So you'll see none of my stuff is perfect. So here is Vintage Witch. This was a freebie pattern by the Little Stitcher. And if you Google it, you can find it. Also, I did leave a link in my last floss tube to the pattern. Anyway, this was 1/2 on Platinum Zweigart, 36 count, that I did tea dye after I finished stitching it, so it is a bit darker. And this is just a little shadow box that I got from Michael's, 50% off. And I wasn't sure that this would fit. You can see it just barely fits, but it's good enough for me. And around here, this is just some antique, I think this is hand tatted lace that I got from either a thrift store or a yard sale at some point with some other lace. And it's actually wrapped around twice. I don't know if you guys can tell. It was a very short length of it, but I didn't want to cut it in case I ever want to use it for something else. So this is actually all just pinned around my little backing thing. I took a little piece of cardboard and I put some thin batting on top, and then I just wrapped the stitched piece around and pinned it, and then I wrapped the lace around and pinned that. So this is really kind of temporary, not permanent, easy to change out if I want to, but I still think it's really cute. I love how it looks, and I have it displayed in my dining room. So yeah, that's it. How are you guys doing? I hope you're doing well. Okay, so I have one finish, I have 2 new starts and some progress on my other whips, but before I get into that, I do want to show you 2 other things that I forgot to bring out last week to show you guys, but I did remember this week, so I just want to show you. So the first one is this book, The Wheel on the School. Heidi, from my last video, so kindly taught me how to say the author's name. So I'm going to try. I hope I get it right. Minder de Young. Huh? Heidi, was that right? Hey. So I was talking about this book because I was showing the Dutch Sampler by Kathy Barrick, which I do want to start at some point soon. And the reason I care about the Dutch Sampler so much, or love it so much, is because I had just read this book with my son for school. So anyway, that's the book. I don't think it's easy to find, as far as like you can't just go to a bookstore and buy it now, but you can get it secondhand. I got this one from thriftbooks.com. So, you know, you can occasionally find it there. I'm not sure about other countries, but in the US, I did have to get it secondhand, but it's worth a read, even if you don't have kids. I love it. Okay, the other thing I wanted to show is this pattern, the Bloom Chalkful, the hands-on design. I couldn't get the name right. The reason I had brought this up last week is because part of my haul was this charcoal 32 count Zweigart linen, which I had gotten from 123 Stitch. That is what that is. I don't know if that's showing well. It's just, yeah, charcoal. But I didn't get the black linen, I just got charcoal, but I think it's going to look good with this. This Bloom Chalkful pattern I won from a giveaway that Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch did for her 1-year Flosstube anniversary. And yeah, I do love it. I got other patterns in a bundle with this giveaway, which was so cool and exciting. I believe Liz changed the jar and the bow colors, like she alternated, so she made the bow red and the jar red. Also, Mandy from Homegrown and Handmade, definitely, because I saw it in her whip parade when I was watching that the other day, or yesterday maybe. She definitely did change the jar color to blue and the bow color to red, which I also plan on doing whenever I do start this, because I've never seen a red mason jar. They may exist. I've never seen one though, but I have blue mason jars and I just like the look of it. So I think that I just will prefer it that way. So that's the other thing that I forgot to bring out last time and couldn't remember the name for, but that's what that is. Okay. Let me show you my finish from this past 2 weeks, and then that will bring us into whips and giveaway. I have a giveaway this week. I'm really excited. Sorry, I'm acting weird. Okay, and yeah, that's it. Okay, so my finish this week comes from Christmas Pugs, which was a pattern purchased from Etsy. This is by, oh, I have it somewhere, hold on. Katarina Besperstova is the designer. But if you search Christmas Pugs cross-stitch ornaments on Etsy, I'm sure that you'll be able to find them. I really like these patterns, they're adorable. So last week I showed you guys this finish. This one is for my son. And then, or not, I keep saying last week, last video. This one is what I showed, it was my finish. This is what I finished this past one. And yeah, so here she is. I love her. I have an oopsie in here actually, I'm just going to tell you, because you may see some of the stitches are not that pretty if you look really close. When I was counting, somehow to get to this purple light, I was 1 thread off, and I didn't really realize. By the time I realized, I was in that type of mood where I was like, if I rip it out, this thing is going somewhere it shouldn't be. So I just fudged it. So a couple, like I had to do some like little half stitches in here just to fill in. It doesn't matter. It's fine. Nobody can even tell unless I point it out. The stitches just aren't that pretty right in here. But again, with these patterns, the back stitching just brings them right to life. It makes them look so fun and cute. So here's my one for my son, my middle son, Liam. And here's the one for my daughter, Amy. And that brings us into whips. I have a new start. This is one of my new starts. Hold on a second, please, okay? Okay, my daughter really wants to say hi, so 1 second. Come say hi.
Hi.
Hi. Oh, sliding down my arm. Okay, I keep moving the camera around. Sorry about that. Okay, so one of my new starts in this past 2 weeks is I'm working now on this guy for my oldest, my stepson, because he will get the reference, the Christmas story reference. I really, really love him the most. I said this last video too, and I might do him eventually, but that's who I'm working on now. And here we are. Here's my progress. So I got his whole face done, and I started in on the light pink. Yeah. Oh, here goes my dog. Okay. So here's my start. As you can see, I got the face all done, and I'm working on now filling in the, you know, the bunny costume. I don't know if you can see if I bring it up close. I actually made a big oopsie. Can you see some of these stitches here that got ripped out? Like you can see the bigger holes. I cannot believe I did this. So the other night, after I finished my daughter's, I stayed up late to finish this, and I was past my bedtime. And I don't usually stitch really late at night because when I use this thing, the way that my husband and I sit in the living room, it kind of like shines into his eyes. So when he's home, I don't use this, but it's a neck light, you know, and you turn it on. I'm not gonna move my hands, but it has 3 brightnesses. Yeah, so it's great for seeing at night because I usually like to stitch by daylight because it's the easiest for me to see, but this helps for when it's dark. Anywho, I finished this dude and I was like, I'm on a roll. I'm going to start this guy. Well, I did, and I was moving right along. I stayed up way too late. And the next morning I was still, you know, feeling it, and I put him away kind of weird, and I could not tell. I guess I looked at it too quickly. I couldn't tell what was up and down. And I started stitching the ears like this. And the whole time I'm looking at his face and I'm like, how did I mess up his face so bad? Man, that shows me I can't stitch when it's so late, blah, blah, blah. And I ended up ripping out a row because the count was off and everything like that. Like the bottom row of his face, or what I thought was the bottom row of his face. And I was so annoyed. I was like, I cannot believe it got so off. And then I'm stitching on, I was about to start this part up here, right? And I had already done this color and the middle color of the ears, so the darkest pink. And then it finally dawned on me. I freaking started stitching on it upside down. So I had to rip out all of the ears that I had done so far. I'm not sure if you can tell very well. Yeah, you can totally tell. And up there. And then I had to re-stitch the top part of the tan of the pug's face that I had ripped out because I thought I was off somehow. And then turned it right side up. And actually started the right way. So anyway, I don't know how I managed that. This thing almost got put in timeout, but I'm really eager to get these done because I have other things I just want to focus on. But these have been my primary focus because I want them done for Christmas time. So anyway, yeah, probably once I'm done with this, I'm not going to do these 3 right away. At least that's my thought right now. I would like to get to them eventually because, as I've said like 7 times, this dude's my absolute favorite. But I do like how they turned out. I just, or the ones that I finished have turned out, but I was so annoyed at myself. I cannot believe I did that. But whatever, it's fixed. Okay, so the other night I was feeling a little cheeky. The next night, because I was like, ooh, I gotta finish. And yes, I did a new start with the pug, but I want to do another new start. So I did, but only a very small start because my little neck light, this handy dandy neck light, which by the way, I got from Amazon, I think. Yeah, and it's rechargeable. I think I spent less than $15 on it. It's certainly less than 20. So anyway, I like them. It's this brand, Glaucuscent. Anyway, I had a little cheeky start that night, but like I said, it needed to charge, so it got very dim and I could not see any longer. I started Nightshade Bird. So I still don't have the DMCs that are called for, but I do have all the overdyes. I figure the next time I go to Michael's or Hobby Lobby, I can get the DMCs. I checked in what I already have. I have a decent amount of DMC and I don't have them. So here's my eensy teensy tiny little start, just the bottom corner of the drum, like down here somewhere. This is on a piece of 36 count vintage country mocha. And I'm doing 1 strand over 2. Oh, I forgot to say for the ornaments, it's 32 count natural linen, which I got from Hobby Lobby, and I'm doing 2 over 2. But this is, yeah, again, 36 count vintage country mocha, 1 over 2. So now that my neck light is charged, I can pick this back up whenever I've got the time and the inclination. So I'm pretty excited about that. The other day I was watching the Calculated Stitcher. I'm trying to think of her name. Oh, I'm so sorry. Is it Jen? Anyway, the Calculated Stitcher, she's really lovely. I was watching her whip parade from how much I could get through. I had to go somewhere, so I couldn't watch the whole thing. But she has all these little starts, and she was saying though, you know, to me it's better to, what's the difference between having them started and having them kitted? To her, there's no big difference. And I was like, you know what? You make a decent point. So I didn't feel too bad about starting Nightshade Bird. I do love it. So yeah. And then I do have a little bit of progress on 2 other of my whips. Unfortunately, I did not work on the angel at all the past 2 weeks. I will get back to her though. I'm really eager to have her done. So at some point, but let me show you the progress I've made on my other whips. This is Grace Bridges Sampler by Stacy, I always say Stacy Nash Primitives. Got a long way to go on her, but yeah, I did make some progress. So let me tell you what this linen is before I forget. This is 36 count Antique Ivory by Zweigart, which I bought from Knits&Stitches. So it's not much, but I did page finish the border. So there's 1 other page worth of top border, and then it's just all letters. There's no border on the sides. And then I also started in on the alphabet. This is only 1, you know, stitch sessions worth. Excuse me, my nose is itchy. Tickly. What's that? Isn't that a thing on Flosstube? A lot of people's noses get tickly. I'm not kidding, it's really tickly. Anyway, so I did make some progress. It's not significant. I think all this is new, and I filled in the berries. I think it was 3 berries I had to do. And then I started on the letters, so. Small progress is progress though, right? I'll have to put that back together when I'm done. Oh, let me put the pattern with it. Okay, and then, oh my goodness. Ooh, so tickly. Wow, that's crazy. I also made progress on Froth and Bubble by Long Dog Samplers. I don't have the pattern picture out to show you. Sorry. But I did make progress, so I'm gonna unsnap it. Remember, I've got my little hair snaps that I use to hold it all together here. Okay, please excuse the thread, the needle. So, when last you saw it, I had this word done and none others. So I did all the rest of the words, and then I brought this line all the way down here. I think it had stopped somewhere up here. And then I started on, I really need to hold something up behind it. Sorry, it's all white and I've got the light behind me. And I started on the motifs in the middle band, or the second band. So I got the butterfly and that, and this. I have a whole motif here, and then it's gonna go up and other stuff. But I mean, I feel like that's pretty significant progress. And I'm really happy with it. I can't wait to keep going on it. I don't know if I told you guys what this sampler is ultimately going to say, so I'm just going to tell you. It says, life is mostly froth and bubble, two things stand like stone. And then the other bands that don't exist yet will say, kindness in another's trouble, courage in your own. So I really like that. I think it's a very great sentiment and true. So yeah. Okay. Here is where I would like to talk a little bit about a previous finish. Unfortunately, I don't have it with me, but I do have a picture or video of it. So I'll insert that here. Okay, now you should have seen the picture or video of what I'm going to talk about. So that was my second cross stitch project that I ever did. It was a wedding gift for my dad and my stepmom. They got married last year, right after Christmas. So that was on 36 count, dark cobblestone, Edinburgh, Zweigart linen. And I used DMC 3865, and the pattern was Doves by DMC. It was a free pattern. I had never stitched on linen before. I had only ever stitched my little Halloween ornament that I showed last video. So that was a challenge. It was certainly frustrating, but I'm glad I persevered, because now stitching on linen is like just what I do. But I wanted to give them something special. So yeah, it took me a really longer than I expected it to take. You know, when you're starting and you just don't have a grasp of how long things take. Well, yeah. But anyway, I'm glad I persevered, and they've got it up in their house, so I guess they like it. So that is my previous finish that I want to show you guys. Okay, let's get into the giveaway, and then maybe I'll give a little life update, I guess, or a slight life update. Okay, so here, let me just talk about rules or whatever. Please be obviously over 18. I guess we'll do international. I have no idea how much that's going to cost, so, but I guess we'll find out. And then if it becomes cost prohibitive, we'll see about any giveaways in the future. But so please be over 18. Please don't use the word giveaway or prize or any of that, because apparently somehow people can find videos with comments like that. And then, you know, if they're not interested in the thing, I don't want them to get it, you know? I hope someone who actually cross stitches will. Okay, so anyway, here's the giveaway. It's a pattern, obviously. It's called the Eliza Guy Sampler by Kathy Livingston. It's a reproduction by Kathy Livingston, just cross stitch. Here's a picture of the thing. Now, I really like this sampler. I love the colors. I love, you know, this alphabet with the eyelets. I believe they're eyelets, and I like a lot of the motifs. I probably would have, if it were me stitching it, I probably would have ultimately changed the verse to something more meaningful to me, but I don't know, maybe not, because it's a reproduction. So anyway, I do really like this. I think it's beautiful. I just don't think I'm going to get to it with all of the other patterns that I've got that I want to stitch. So yeah, this is from 1992 actually. And I don't think it's, you know, still being sold new, but maybe on the secondary markets, you guys can get it if you're interested. But anyway, here's the giveaway for today. If you're interested, please use the word Eliza or the name Eliza, E-L-I-Z-A, in your comment. And then I guess next video, I'll pick the winner. So yeah, there you go. Good luck to anybody who's interested. And we'll find out next time who gets it. Okay, sorry, I had to run and get some stuff because I had forgotten to grab it. Okay, so I'm pretty much done showing you specifically cross-stitch stuff today, I think. So I'm gonna get into like life update-ish stuff, not real life update, you know what I mean, just a little things. So I don't really have any knitting to show you guys because there's been no significant progress on any of the stuff that I showed you before. I did work for like an hour and a half on the Novelli sweater when my daughter was at gymnastics practice twice over the past 2 weeks. But, you know, it's just stockinette. And I mean, I got like that far because it's a fingering weight sweater. So I'll show you guys when it looks different, okay? And then the shawl, I did a couple of rows of lace, but nothing that looks great. So that's that. So life update or slight life update, the past couple of weekends, besides son's football games and stuff, we have done yard sales and we went to a flea market. This was not this past weekend, the weekend prior. We did yard sales and we went to a flea market and it was a blast. The kids loved the yard sales. They made out like bandits. And this is like, my daughter got a Barbie dream house for $20 and it came with so many accessories and all of that. And that's something she's had on her Christmas list for years and it's never happened. So she was really happy. My son was able to find some game consoles, like older ones that he's really into. And so that's, you know, all good stuff. The next day when we went to the flea market, I mean, I did get some cute stuff from the yard sales, but nothing really cross-stitch specific. However, at the flea market, the next day, that Sunday, I got 2 flower frogs for a really decent price. Like better than Etsy, not significantly better, but since you're not paying shipping and maybe another $1 or $2 cheaper. So 2 flower frogs, because you know those patterns like from Hello from Liz Matthews? She had, you know, the little trees, they stand in these. So I don't know. I don't have any of those patterns, but I might someday. So anyway, I saw these and I just wanted to get them. I also got 2 little spools, which I loved these ones because you can see the metal as well. And also this has some like red on it. Ugh, I just love them. These were also a really good price. And the lady I bought these from had more. She had bigger ones too. And I should have just bought all of them. She was willing to give me a good price, but I was having that feeling, you know, in the moment where you're like, oh, I shouldn't get too much. Where am I going to put it? Blah, blah, blah. Well, anyway, I should have gotten all of them, but I am glad I got these. So I saw at that flea market, let me tell you, I could have kicked myself. I still could kick myself because I should have just bought it. I should have gone to the ATM and I should have bought it. I did snap a picture, so I'll show you guys. I found a real, you know, sampler from 1863. I think it was an English sampler, cross stitch, beautiful. And oh, man, so I glanced at the tag quickly and it said $290, which, or $295 or something like that for the price. Now I recognize that that's reasonable. A lot of times you'll get beautiful antique samplers on eBay for that or much more. So I didn't think it was an unreasonable price. I just definitely wasn't carrying that much and I kind of shy away from spending that much money generally, right? Until I have a chance to really think about it and all of that. Well, I did snap a quick picture, and I was zooming in on the picture later after I got home, just thinking of the sampler and being like, man, I really wish I had maybe asked the lady if she would go down or something. And I'm zooming in on the top corner where the tag was, and I see a second price, which was significantly less, like in the hundreds. And man, if I had seen that then, I probably would have gone to the ATM and gotten it, because it's so beautiful. You know, I've checked eBay. She doesn't have a list on eBay. My husband even went back the following weekend after we had our yard sale, the following weekend on a Saturday. That Sunday, he went back just to see if the dealer or the seller was going to be there, and she wasn't. So that might just be, you know, the one that got away, and that's okay. But man, I could have kicked myself. I really could, because it was beautiful, and it would make a beautiful reproduction. Or yeah, you would be able to reproduce that beautifully, is what I'm trying to say. So anyway, yeah, so we've had, you know, some busy weeks between we homeschool the younger ones, and their kids' sports and appointments and all kinds of stuff. Yeah, don't really want to get into anything specific, but things are okay. Things are good. Overall, they're really good, and I'm very blessed, and my family is really, really blessed, and I'm just grateful. So sorry, that was a little weird without getting specific, but we just had some, you know, something that was a little scary, but we got mostly good news, so that's good. Anyway, I hope you guys are well. I think that's it for today. So maybe a little bit shorter than last time, maybe. But yeah, again, I just want to say thank you so much for your kindness and being so welcoming for my last video. And I'll see you guys soon. I hope you guys are doing well. Stay safe, stay healthy, keep stitching. And yeah, I'll talk to you next time. Bye.